Alright folks, welcome to this video where you once again join us in the wild Scottish countryside, and once again we're joined by the channel DJ here, and today we've come up the glen of Glen Esk. We were at the bottom of Glen Esk in the last episode. Today we've come to the top and we're actually going to go for an explore up the glen towards Loch Lee, where there's like a dam and stuff. Yeah, it's an ancient bridge. And there, look, there's the marking. I'm sure I got told what this was too. Yeah, it's like the mark on the map or something, where the bridge is or something. That is the exact mark on the map. Something to do with that. Anyway folks, we're on this adventure. Look at this, sheep grazing over here and everything. It's a crazy winter environment. Yeah, there's a little church over here, and there's an even older church. No, there's an even older church up at the shore of Loch Lee. The sun's just coming through the kind of like snowy looking drizzle or whatever that is on the hills. Yeah, look at this folks, 1803 Loch Lee Kirk. And look at the style of it over there folks. Yeah. There's an even older, cooler graveyard though, with some of the oldest gravestones I've ever seen in my life. The gravestones up here are even older than the ones that I saw on Islay. The Isle of Islay. Look at this, no vehicles allowed beyond this point. There's footpaths from here to like Braemar and stuff like that. There is a bit of a wind blowing through here folks, but yeah, I'll update you once we're further up. Look at this folks, the landscape up here is just magical. It's cool to see this little bit when you walk up. It must be where they like monitor the river. They'll be able to use that camera to monitor what's going on, look.
Yeah, he's pointing on the measuring sticks.
Yeah. Invermark gauging station. So this must be the Invermark apparently, according to this.
The old gate, eh?
Yeah, look at that, it's got the S. And that's kind of, don't know how strong that stuff is. Look, it's got a wee gauging station, must be for rain.
Check the lightning rod on it.
Oh aye. Cool little bit of architecture folks. They're just harnessing the power of nature.
They built bunkers with using bits of wood.
Yeah, they probably did. It was probably more like brought as a kit though.
Yeah.
I suppose that bottom bit does look like it was poured out. Yeah.
You can see the wood marks on it.
Yeah, they've laid it. It's a proper whole, that'll be how they've built this whole area.
Yeah.
They'll have built that and just shaped it where it sits. With wooden shuttering. It's incredible folks. And look, this whole side bit here is built up.
So what, is Loch Lee the source of it?
Yeah, there's a big dam up at Loch Lee, which they still use, I think, Scottish water these days. But there's like, see the castle above this house over here, that's Invermark Castle.
Oh. Check the big iron bit on the window.
Look at this folks, we've made it round to the castle. Invermark Castle, dating back ancient times, I'm pretty sure 1500s or something. This is one of these original old real deal defensive castle towers from back in the day. That would have been around in the day of the real like clan wars and stuff. All defensive, and everything was like built for a purpose. Other castles from a later time were built to look like this, but simply just for the design.
The fact that there's no windows.
These walls will be so thick. And look, they've all had bars on them at one time. And I have climbed up the chain and looked in that door at one time before when I came here. You can climb up there, but it's all upper body. See that? Lookouts on the tower up there. That's literally been for them looking out.
Started so fucking.
Because that's the defence. That's so if you were coming to attack, you'd have no easy way of attacking. They would have had a big like drawbridge kind of thing up there. Here, remember, you have to get down the same way you got up, so memorise what you're doing.
ground level actually starts.
Yeah,
That's mental.
but there is a cellar in there, because I mind when I was up there looking in, the stairs. So these holes here, folks, around the door that's in the wall, they could have been for some sort of bridge that they lowered down. Or maybe they had another small tower here like with stairs. And they could have lowered the drawbridge over. Probably didn't have a drawbridge though.
Stairs,
Yeah, these stones could have quite possibly been fit. Must have been crazy when it had its roof. Look at all these small windows, eh? Just think what went on in all those rooms. It's just a hollow shell now, but it's from an ancient time in history, folks.
So you can't see it on the outside, but that's like a round tower on the inside.
Yeah.
It's corner.
Look inside there, you can see through the corner, it's like a door going away into the, what must have been the tower.
Oh, aye.
I think the mesh door in the side too was the original door.
Right beside it, eh?
Yeah. Here the walls are like 5 foot thick or more, 6 foot thick. It's crazy. It's crazy to think when that ironwork was probably put in.
I was just thinking that.
Like literally that metalwork.
Building.
I believe so.
Into the stone.
That's before they had wood and like glass.
Yeah.
Those were the iron windows that... It's just insane. The history. I feel like potentially the 1500s a blacksmith made that there on his anvil. Or like, he wouldn't have had an anvil probably, he was just probably putting that in there into the stonework. The stones were probably built onto the end of the metal. And the metal's been fused in there ever since then. It's just, one day it'll corrode and fall out.
Snow on that.
What a structure. Yeah, snow on the hills here, folks. And we've got this river here running down to our left. Look at this, folks. We've now made it to the shore of Loch Lee, and we're going to take a walk over here and take a look at the dam, because we do love a dam here on this channel. And this is one that I hardly ever visit. And just look at the landscape that we're in the middle of here. The loch's over there, and we'll see it in a minute. Literally the hills are just towering above this bit of land here. The wind's howling through here too, ice cold. Look at this, folks, this is the edge of the dam. And look at the way the water comes over the edge. That's a proper cement bit there with a gradual slope for the water, and today it's just gently coming over. And it's got these massive bits of cement through the water too. That's a cool angle for a photo there. Look at this, folks, at the bottom of the slope of cement there, they've got holes. And I think when I watched the Backwater Dam documentary, they do that so when the water comes over it breaks the flow of the water. That would be a cool bit to come fleeing down the rubber ring though and land in this pool. Look at that, folks. Such a cool dam. You can see it slopes down because it's just a narrow bit at the top and then it gets wider as it comes. It's insane. And then look at this, this is the coolest bit. All these mechanisms here for the operation of the dam. Look at this, folks, they'll all be electronically controlled like sluice gates. The water flows through, but look, they can control the flow of it. That'll be how they can raise and lower the height of the loch. So those mechanisms are crazy, eh? Look at this, folks, the water flowing through that. The colour of the water. Yeah, it's peaty. The water's pure peaty here, folks, check it out. That's what these sluices must look like. Do you think that's for salmon and stuff coming up into the river? That could be why they have this. Look at that, folks, that flap there is opening into the loch. Probably at one time you could have walked in that potentially. See that, folks? We love a bit of that, bit of dam engineering. It's a little bit less windy at this side of the dam as well, because we're below the level of the water. Loch Lee right here. In this old graveyard, the gravestones go right up to the edge. And this has been a proper setup in its days, like the Loch Lee Reservoir headworks. "1961" it says above the door on there, folks, so that's cool.
Looks like an old loading door, eh, with the beam.
Yeah. So that shows you that it was built before, what was it called? Backwater Dam, which was built in the late 60s. Yeah, that beam must go in, and they must have some heavy machinery in there. That'll be the reason that they've had to do that. Look at this, folks, the main sluice gates are accessed there. The water will go flying out, probably if they're needing to release the water quite quick. The wind's extreme here, but I'm trying to cover the microphone a bit. It's insane. And the way the water's spraying up with the wind there too, it's quite a scene. There'll be some mental fishing here, I would think. And look at this view, folks. That's the windy Loch Lee on a day like this. A winter expedition is different to like a summer adventure. This is the sort of wild weather we're dealing with, and there is snow on those back hills. Right, folks, I'm now in the graveyard here. This is an ancient graveyard with gravestones dating back from well before the 1700s. Some of these gravestones up here are some of the oldest ones I've ever seen everywhere I've been in Scotland. But yeah, the wind's so extreme right here, I've come behind the wall so you can actually hear what I'm saying. And this is actually an ancient kirk that I'm standing in. You can see the holes in the wall up there where the old beams had been. And you can imagine the local people coming here to the kirk. But this church has now been replaced by the new Orleans Lord in the Glen down beside the car park. But yeah, the wind round this corner is just like unreal. Anyway, folks, on with this adventure. There we go, folks, we're leaving the windy Loch Lee, and that's the ancient graveyard there, which has got some of the coolest old gravestones around. Like, it's definitely worth a walk, but on a windy day like today we're not going to push on any further. You can literally see the rain up there, the front of the hills. Yeah, it's insane.
It's getting wild.
It's crazy.
Wait, that was an old building.
Yeah, I think they use that for the shooting and stuff now, for hanging the deer up or whatever they do. Kind of like a larder, that'll be how it's got that roof. Look at this, folks, it's so much less windy. Now we've come down to the bottom of this glen, it's so much less windy. Up there it was just extreme conditions, and like, we were getting blown away and frozen at the same time. So it's like a different world. But yeah, we've pretty much made it back down to the car park now. I'll end this video here. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you very soon in the next one.